Hey guys, this is Dylan again with Jowers Technology Solutions. I just want to make another video of a Cisco switch. So I made one of a Cisco router, the 3825, a few days ago, and I just wanted to follow that up with setting up a switch and making sure that those the router and the switch are communicating. So to start off, I'm going to go ahead and if you look at the screen, it'll say, "Would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog?" I'm going to say no, and then would you like to terminate the auto install? I'm going to say yes. So that's going to put you right into the CLI for configuring it manually. So right here I'm going to type in, this is the user mode, I'm going to go into privilege mode with enable. And then I'm going to go ahead and type in conf C for configure terminal, which puts you into the global configuration mode. And then I have a little cheat sheet off screen that I'm going to use, but I'll explain what each one is doing. So the first thing I'm going to do is give it a host name, give it a domain name, and then create some crypto keys for it. So the host name is going to be site3 switch 1. The domain name is going to be Jowers Lab. And then the crypto key we're going to generate with 1024 bits. And the username is going to be Dylan. Privilege level 15, which gives me the max privileges. And then secret is going to be Jowers. We're going to plug that in. And it's going to create the crypto keys. And it's also going to enable SSH 1.99. So this way you can SSH into it later. Alright. And right now we're going to skip the VTP mode because I only have one switch in this scenario, so it's not needed. And then the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and configure the trunk port. So I'm going to have to edit just a little bit before I paste it in. So this is going to be a fast Ethernet port instead, and it's going to be a single port instead of a range command. So interface FA 0/34, and we're going to take out this piece too because it's not needed in this scenario. And we're going to do a switch port mode trunk, and then we're going to allow VLANs 10 through 70, and then 99, 200, and 500. So each one of these VLANs is for a different purpose. 99 is for management, 200 is the parking lot VLAN, so that's where you're going to put switch ports that are not being used, and then the native VLAN is going to be 500. In the CCNP switch series, it talks about how leaving the native VLAN at VLAN 1 is not best practice. It's that would give an attacker more headway into finding an exploit because they already know what the native VLAN is, so they can tag packets and get through it that way. So I'm going to change it to native VLAN 500. And then switch port non-negotiate, so if anything other than a switch on the other side trying to form a trunk port will not be allowed. And then of course I'm going to manually configure this to be native VLAN 500. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK on that. Okay, so it did need that command, so sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and fix that really quick. Okay, there we go. So now if you go back and you do a show run interface FA 0/34, you'll see that configuration under the switch port now. Alright, next I'm going to go ahead and configure the line console and the virtual terminal line. And so for right here, logging synchronous is going to make it where messages don't just pop up randomly while you're typing in commands. Exact time is going to be 10 minutes, so if it's sitting here idle for at least 10 minutes, it'll automatically log you out. And then the login local is going to point to the local database, so I created the username Dylan with the secret of Jowers, and it's going to look at that on the internal database instead of going off and looking at a radio server, a TACAC server, or whatever else for authentication and authorization. Same thing for the line VTY. This is for virtual terminal lines 0 through 15. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this to all the whole range of virtual terminal lines, and this is the same configuration. So we're going to hit OK on that. And I'm not sure what that decided to do. Okay, so I wasn't in GCM, so we need to go back and look at that again. Alright, so just paste that in there again. That time it took it. Okay. Alright, next we're going to go ahead and create our VLANs. And so like I was saying, on the router itself, I haven't configured the sub interfaces yet. So these VLANs aren't going anywhere but locally on the switch. So right here you're going to see VLAN 10 through 70, and then 99, 200, and 500. Each of them have their own name. I named them so that I can keep track of what is doing what. And so we're going to plug that in. And to verify that, if you're in GCM, it's okay. They changed it on the newer stuff, but on the older stuff, it's still typing a do command. So do show VLAN brief, and you can verify that the VLANs took in the configuration. Alright, and next, so there's a configuration I have in here that's already pre-written, and it's shut down unused interfaces. So for security purposes or for best practices, you can choose to shut down ports that aren't being used at the time, which means that if somebody new comes into the environment and they have a computer or whatever they need access to, then you have to go in and manually, turn it on and configure it. But again, it's best practices, so whatever environment you're in or whatever policies you're following, that'll be up to them. And then lastly, for this particular scenario, I'm going to add a interface or a management interface. And so right now I'm using the IP scheme of 10.0.0.0 with a subnet mask or a Class C subnet mask. So I'm going to follow that with this. So right here you see interface VLAN 99. So this is our management VLAN, and then IP address is going to be 10.0.99, and I'm going to put 10 in here. The IP address gateway is the 10.0.99.1 with the obviously the same subnet mask, and we're going to no shut it, so we turn it on, then we're going to exit out. So right here, just do an OK, and I'll paste it in there, and then you can go and do an end and do a show IP interface brief. Alright, so right here you see the VLAN 99 with the IP address. Right now the status of it is up, but the protocol is down. That's because there hasn't been any traffic initiated on that VLAN yet. And if you go down further, you'll see the 34 is right here that we just configured a moment ago. And again, that is down right now because the port on the router is not turned on yet. So I'm going to do another video where we actually connect all this stuff up, and then you can see the traffic flow. But for now, that's all I got. If you liked the video, please give it a like, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave it below, and thank you for watching. Have a good day.